Welcome to the Pure Performance Cafe. May I take your order?
Yes, I would like a shot of Pure Performance, please.
Coming right up.
Welcome to another episode of Pure Performance Cafe, still in Linz, and I keep repeating myself because I've been recording quite a bit. I have the awesome chance to speak with a lot of people. Now I'm actually here with Kurt Aigner. Hi, Kurt.
Hi, everybody.
So, Kurt, who are you? Maybe a quick introduction of your role within Dynatrace.
Yes, I'm in the group of the technical product management team within AppMon. So, there I'm taking care about a couple of things, awesome things like the mainframe agents, early access program, release notes, a lot of stuff in different areas. Tech currency would be also on my plate. So
cool. And you're also very active on the community. I mean, people that are on Answers, they go to documentation and are actually involved with early access programs. I have probably seen your name. So thanks for that. Which brings me to what I wanted to ask you is about how are we as a product management team, or you as a product management team, figuring out in which direction we need to develop the product? Which type of feedback loops? Because feedback loops is a big topic in DevOps, in continuous delivery. But how can we ensure feedback loops for enterprise products, on-premise products like we have with AppMon? Mm-hmm. So maybe you want to just enlighten us a little bit how the process works and what we have.
Yeah, of course, we do have quite a couple of feedback loops and an input into that stream. Of course, we are talking to our field team who are involved with our customers, engaged with our customers and with our prospects. They're providing us a ton of feedback, as you, Andy. Mm-hmm. Thanks for that also.
You're welcome. Yeah.
And of course, we are talking to our customers also. So meaning they should be able at least to provide us feedback, what they like about AppMon, where they see room for improvement, which features they need. And there are also more than one channels to do that. With each release, we ramp up an early access program, for example, which is more or less 2 months in advance of the actual GA date, latest, where you are able to sign up. Each customer can sign up to those early access programs via the community. So it's simply clicking a button and say, yes, I'm interested. And you will be signed up and invited to this early access program, which means you have the downloads for the new product. You get a license to play with and provide feedback through that.
Cool.
That's, of course, feedback on things we built rather new, which is already there. Of course, we will need also feedback in things which are not there yet. And therefore, we have also on the community the product ideas where customers are able to tell us, well, I have this and that use case, and this is not covered by AppMon yet. I would request this or that feature to support this use case. It's very important to have this on a use case basis, not to ask, I need a checkbox here, which does that, because we as a product management team and also other customers need to understand those use cases, because what then happens, it's posted under answers. People can vote on it so that we see how many customers and also employees, they can also vote on it, think this is a useful use case, we should support that. And then we are looking into that actually before we do the next detail planning for the next release.
Cool. So as a reminder for customers or also free trial users, because everybody has access to the forum, answers.dynatrace.com, then you can click on AppMon product ideas, check out what's out there and keep voting for things that you find interesting, because that obviously influences what we're building. So that's pretty cool. Now, I'm also very happy that I can run the free trial program, as you said, and thanks to the good relationship we have from the innovation lab team to the product management team, you ensure that I can actually run the free trial program. We built in feedback mechanisms also in the product, which I believe is actually very interesting that people may or may not be aware of, but I want to point it out there. For web-based applications, it's typically easier to get feedback like who is using which feature because it's web-based, but in our case, it's an on-premise product. So we have stuff in Dynatrace where we can include people in what I think we call it the user improvement program. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
So basically where we figure out which features in our rich client application are used, and that also goes back to Dynatrace, and so we can actually see, look at that, nobody's using that feature, and we thought it's the greatest of ever, right? And then on the other side, we see what is used. So that influences also, I would assume, future decision makings, right, when we are...
Of course. Yeah. So we look into that quite regularly to see, as you mentioned, what is used, because there are often big surprises where we thought well, that's a small feature we implemented, but actually you see then, wow, 80% of our customers are using it, so it's really important, and we might even think about innovating it. For sure, we will not be able to deprecate it without any follow-up plan. So that's also where we need to look into it as soon as we try to build new things and have to look at our technical depth to support things where we, of course, need also to deprecate features which are not used or which are holding us back to make new innovations. So that's actually the thing we're in.
Mm-hmm. So, and one last topic that I want to cover, when you talk about innovation, we try to be faster, right? So that's customers have probably noticed that we went from a 2 releases per year to a much more rapid deployment model. I think we now, at least with the latest release with 6.5, we have 6.5.1, 2, 3, 4. But I think we're now at 6.5.5 almost approaching next week. So we're constantly providing new updates. And the updates are a mechanism for us to, of course, react on problems that we may introduce, but also allow us to also innovate on new features on a much more frequent basis. And do you see this as a benefit? Do we see, like this is a good way forward, or is there also some pushback?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. Product updates, as we called it, which is actually the revision number of our version, are done more and more frequently. So currently we try to have a 2 weeks update mechanism on our latest release, which we currently have. So meaning any fix which goes into there should be available within 2 weeks to all customers, not only one customer who might report it an issue, so that you have a proactive way to have the best quality you might get there. Plus, we have at least one release in between, as we call always the plus release, which is then 6.5 plus. In our case, this was released recently, which was 6.5.4, which was a plus release where also additional features were in there. So on the web UI, we have now the night mode, for example. That's a pretty neat button so that you can also use it in doc teams and so on and so forth. So there are release notes as the normal release, but you have this simple deployment by just adding an update and no migration or whatever. And there we want to really innovate as fast as possible, yes.
That's cool. And maybe a shout out to other software companies out there that even though we're building an on-premise product, which obviously people need to install something, we figured out a way to make the update process as smooth as possible so that we are not forcing a painful upgrade and migration process on every customer every other week. So I think that's a lot less learned. Cool. Kurt, any final words maybe for the audience?
Any final words? Yeah, any feedback you can provide me through answers through the forum directly. So I'm really keen to get any feedback. So especially when you look for something where use cases are not covered. So we're really looking for that feedback. It's also always great to hear, yes, you're doing a great job. You have a great product. So that's also nice. But we really need also that constructive feedback on where we can innovate. And we know that we still have to innovate, and we are working on that very hard.
Cool. Thank you so much.